January 14th, 2017. What I want to talk about today, um, a lot of times I hold back on these conversations because um, maybe fear of looking like a nut job. But I'm starting to slowly realize that images and videos that have shown me that I've taken really speak for themselves. Um, I urge you, for a better understanding, especially if you're looking at this from like a scientific point of mind over a spiritual, um, go see NASA Jim. He's got maybe like 6 to 8 short, very very short videos. This man, he's passed on a long time ago. These videos are probably from like 6 or 7 years ago, maybe even longer now, maybe like almost 10 years ago. And there was supposed to be some more videos released, but his family stopped him and the lawyer stopped him from being released. It really talks about the alien aspect of our world, and that it's not really alien. It's interdimensional, and it's pretty negative and pretty demonic. And I've talked to you before about when I was like 17, and I was out on my own. I had my own apartment. Me and my cousin. My cousin started roommating with me to help me out and stuff like that. And what happened with the radio and the frequencies that came through the radio before all hell broke loose. I remember in my early days of research, especially with the ancient aliens, it kind of got me back into it. And then once I got my first BlackBerry Curve and access to the internet all the time, is when I began my research on the experience that I had at that time of being 17 with me and my cousin. See the difference, see what was going on then is, I was into some pretty dark shit back then, and my cousin and my uncle being like an assistant pastor at a Pentecostal church, and with my cousin being his son, he was in church all the time. Well, long story short, my cousin's going to church all the time. Well, who else is going to church all the time? And I was able to play a lot of music back then too in the church, which was really cool. That's part that probably pulled me into it. Was the music, believe it or not. The devil's tool, but it kind of brought me to Christianity, I guess, in a way. I'm not a Christian, I guess. I wouldn't consider myself one. I try to be, but yeah, I don't. I got my fluorinated coffee and my carbon monoxide test sticks, and I guess to be a good Christian, you cut that shit out of your life. Cuss with no hesitation. So, I'm kind of a long way from the Christianity road. I try really, really, really hard. And I strive to do the best that I can and to be as honest as I can, and to help whoever I can, especially those who help themselves. I will give you the shirt off my back. I really will. If I have $2 in my pocket, I'll probably give you all both $2 if you need it. I always cut myself short like that, and I don't really care. Back to what I was talking about. There's different levels of awakeness, and then you become after awakening, you come to this point of awareness of really what's going on. And this is for some of the doomsday preppers and people that are mentally preparing themselves for end times and when all hell breaks loose. And everybody's talking about these food shortages and what happens when the sun fades out and all this anarchy and chaos and stuff like that. Well, in the world we live in today is the biggest deception of mankind, probably since pre-flood times. What we're experiencing right now is doomsday, end times. Um, you don't believe me? Keep on storing your food and stuff like that if you want. See, if you haven't looked on the back of your labels of the food that you eat, this ought to show you we are already had a food shortage. Go ahead and try to find some natural foods that are actually good for you. It's really hard. Most of our food is chemical byproducts and garbage. In my opinion, that is a food shortage because you can't find any good, healthy food. Even these, a lot of these organic foods and stuff like that. You only can believe what you're reading on the box. I mean, these major food corporations have bought up all these organic companies and probably trashing your food. I mean, in my opinion, we are at a food crisis. We are at a food shortage. We are at a water shortage. Go ahead and filter some of your water and see what you find out of it. For me, I can just turn on my faucet and put it in a glass and look at it. And I can tell you our water is tainted and garbage. So, in my opinion, these are doomsday times, and this is the end times. I'm not afraid to say that anymore. I mean, you just look around. Everybody's waiting for the heavens to unroll like a scroll. Well, at sunset, I see that. That's what I see. I see different beings up there, and I capture them. I capture these little mischievous beings all around me all the time, causing me issues. For those that are awake like this, you also get where you may set something down, turn around to pick it up, and it's not there. That's these little fly-looking things. You ever hear the term Lord of the Flies? Well, where do you think the hell they got that from, huh? Do you think they just make that shit up? Everything's designed for a reason. Everything's said for a reason. These little beings that I show you that get close to me and around my camera, they cause some issues, and they feed off your energy, your negative energy. That's what excites them. It gets them off almost. So when you're at your demise, they're loving it. So just keep that in mind. There's people that are awake enough to see that the world isn't what it's supposed to be. But to become to a level of awareness, I mean, some of the greatest minds that I know in truth research are awakened, but not 100% aware of what's going on. I'm not going to say any names. There's some big channels that are just, man, they're teetering right on the brink of it. I don't know if they're afraid to admit it, or if they just haven't woken up to that levelness, but they seem to be wrapped up with politics and things around them when it's much more than that. It's beyond that. Um, when you watch these channels that show you planes changing and morphing, that should be an indication of their level of awareness, because they're, that channel is seeing that and filming that, and they know that it's not right. That should tell you right away. Back in 90, or was it 91 or 2001, when the planes crashed into the Twin Towers. Now, with that in mind, and you go and watch these videos, I could probably show you some, but there's so many out there of morphing planes and changing planes and stuff like that. What this is these beings. These beings seemed, or the stronger ones, can take shape and mimic birds and planes and stuff like that. And the tall tale sign is the dominant color. The dominant color being metallic white, almost like a silver, but it's white. It's a metallic white, and like a tiger's eye black. What I mean by that is like a transparent black. These two colors are the colors of their makeup, basically their structure, their body, or whatever you want to call it. They cannot hide these colors. They can't. I believe the silver may be their wings. I've shown you many pictures, many pictures. That's probably what I'm showing you right now. I haven't taken any video today, and I'm fixing to do that. Go out and shoot some video and do some work on my truck and get things in order for next week. And that's when I usually set up my camera. When I'm close near, that's when I get some of the best stuff. So with that being said, I haven't even seen it, but I know I'm going to get something. And I'm going to get the same thing that I always get. These little asshole flies that seem to hang around me. Now, are there good ones as well as negative ones? I sure hope so. And that's what I'm counting on. That I'm not surrounded by negativity, that there are some positive things around me as well. I finally got out of my negative state, and just a state of bad luck. I refuse to accept any more negative problems. I just have to cut my fingers off. It was almost like a cleansing for me, I guess, because it was just such a heavy cloud over me for so long. I feel free from it, and it feels really good. But just remember what's really going on when the shit's already hit the fan. Alright? But the way they conditioned us and the way the whole world is, they need it to keep going. We're a slave population. We're what keeps these people and these things going. And they don't want it to end. They're in their reign right now. This is their time, and it's been their time for a minute. I'd say since 9/11. It's been their time, and they're enjoying every bit of it. And don't give in to these things. Don't give in to it. Be aware of the times we're in. Be aware of what's around you. Don't deny it, because the more you deny it, the more they win. Y'all take care.